Hi guys, this is Tracy. Today I'm going to show you how to use this week's free Funny Craft Quote SVG. Funny story from the inspiration for this week's design. Last week I was on vacation with my husband and we were on a week-long road trip and stopped at a few little antique stores and of course had to stop when we saw craft supplies, and I bought a few things, and of course when I got home I realized that I already had those things. So I'm sure that a lot of you can relate. We buy things thinking, oh, this is a great deal, or we order it and then when it comes in, we find the things that we already had. So that was the inspiration, like I said, for this week's design. This week's design is super simple, really easy for you guys. It's already set up, ready to go. So if you're going to put this on a shirt or a tote bag, or you want to make a sign and you're going to use HTV or adhesive vinyl, it's all one image. So you don't have to attach anything. This is ready to go. So you'd click on Make It. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's do Craft Quote. So when your screen pops up, if you're using HTV, you need to make sure to remember to mirror it. You can change the color of this, cut it out of any color that you like, black, white, red, whatever makes you happy. But I also want to show you guys that if you are somebody who likes to do sublimation, you can, I'm sure you have used digital papers before. If you are somebody, like I said, who uses sublimation designs, I want to show you, instead of using a digital paper, that you can use images that are already created to be a sublimation background. And by that I mean, and I will show you because I've already uploaded a bunch of them, I got this from Creative Fabrica, and I will leave the link for it on the blog post and also in the description here if you guys are interested in downloading it. This is, let me bring this, make it a little bit bigger so you can see. I tried this one first. These, it didn't really like how it looked in the back. It was taking up too much of the design. So I settled on this one here. And this file did come with a PNG and the SVG. And you can just drag and drop this. Make sure you choose complex. Hit continue. You don't need to take a background out because there is no background. Click on the print and cut, upload, and then like I said, I've already uploaded a few of them. That's why you see them here. But I did want to show you here also, you can upload the SVG, so I'm going to add both of these so you can see what it looks like. Now obviously this is not an SVG that you could cut because it would be impossible to cut this from vinyl because it's just a mess. But I wanted to show you that if you ever get an SVG included with something that you know is not possible to cut, you can use this to change your colors over here. A lot of times a designer will make a design like this so you can change colors. But you can also, if you, let me show you here, this Design Space was being very wonky earlier, so if it freezes on me, I apologize. I'm going to try and get through this without, it was jumping all around and everything. But if you hover over this, this is going to tell you that this PNG, for whatever reason, is a low resolution. I don't know if this is just a glitch with Design Space. I haven't had an issue with telling me that it was a low resolution, or I should say I haven't had an issue with my prints coming out looking like they're low resolution. So I'm not really sure why it's saying that. But if for some reason you are afraid it's going to be a low resolution, you can take your SVG. Let me make it smaller here just so it's easier for you guys to see it here. Come up to here where it says Basic Cut, and then just turn this into a print and cut. Or actually it's easier if you just go ahead and come down here and click Flatten. And that will turn into a print and cut. Now it is going to give you a warning telling you that your image is too big, so we'll have to resize it, but we'll do that in a second. But I just wanted to let you know that if you have those issues, we're frozen again, there we go, and you're afraid that it is going to be a low resolution, you can use the SVG. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this because I'm going to use this PNG. Okay, so I want to send this to the back. But what I want to do first is, because if I were to put this in the back, and there's nothing wrong with doing it this way, I want to add a little bit of an offset to this image right here so that it just pops a little bit more. So I'm going to click on Offset, and this was another thing I was having an issue with earlier. So I'm going to see if it'll let me do this. I want to do, I believe it's 3. I like to, when I'm doing my offsets, if I'm using a background behind it, I want to be able to see through my letters. So I'm going to see if it's going to do it here. I might have to go back in and do it again. I think that worked. Let me see here. Change this to white Oh, so you can't see through it here. And what I mean is, like, you can't see the colors through there. So let me delete that. See, now it looks like I can here, so let me try it again. It's just been so touchy lately, and like I said, I'm not really sure why. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try and go a little bit smaller. Maybe if I do 2. Yep, that worked. Okay, so let's change this to white. So now when I put that in the back so you can see through. And that's the way I like it. First, let me grab these 2. Click on the first one, click on the offset, and then come down here and flatten that. Okay. And then center it where you think it looks good to you. Well, if you want to make your background a little bit bigger, you can. Just like I said, whatever looks good to you. And then you would grab both of these, and then you want to come down here and flatten. And, okay, again, this is just telling me low resolution. So then you would just resize this. Just keep in mind that there are sizing restrictions on print and cut. See, it's telling me that it's too big. And earlier when I tried to do this, it would not do an auto resize for me. So let's see if it'll work this time. Yep, okay, it worked. So just keep in mind that whatever that you're putting it on, when you print, there's certain restrictions for your print. You can change the paper size, but this is what I have. So for this, let me go ahead and save this again. If you're doing sublimation, you would click Make It. Okay, and this is what it's going to look like on your print and cut screen. Now, we are not using the machine to cut out our image, because if we did, it would cut all the way around everything that's here because I didn't put a backing behind it. This is just simply to print. So I would click Continue, Send to Printer. Make sure that your correct printer is selected. I have 2 printers. This one is my everyday printer. This one is my an Epson that I converted for sublimation. So make sure that's clicked. Turn my bleed off. Systems dialog, and that's going to bring up a box over here for your printer. Now I have I don't have issues with it popping up in the back, but I think Mac users maybe, I'm not really sure, but there's some people who have their box that pops up behind Design Space, and you might have to move your screen, but I don't have an issue with that. So you want to click on Preferences, and I'm going to change this to High, and this I leave the same, bright white. More options. Now I am not a sublimation specialist, so I don't have all the different settings that people like to change their images, the different settings for their color. I have done it before, and I do have them. So if you're interested in having me actually make this as a sublimation design, let me know. Or a sublimation project, as to say, let me know, and I'll make an actual separate video for that. But I just wanted to show you guys that you could use the backgrounds. But I would take my high speed off, put my mirror on, and then click OK. And then you would click Print. And now this is going to print from my sublimation printer. Now, like I said, if you guys wanted to see this actually made into a sign, just drop it in the comments and I can do a separate video for that. Yes, I'm going to cancel this because I'm not having my Cricut cut this out. This is just going to be printed, and then I would cut out, actually I would rip my edges if I was going to put this on a sign or a tote bag or whatever. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick little tutorial on how you can add a background to an SVG. So that's it for this week's design, guys. You can find the free SVG in the freebie library. It is design number 193. You can find that on the blog, along with the name of the font that I used in the link to where you can find them. And like I said, I'll also leave the link for the colorful little background here that you see. But that's it, guys. If you make it, please come over to the Facebook group and show it off. I would love to see what you guys make. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you.